Hello, this is Clockbopper2 and this is tutorial 031 or 31, and this tutorial will be going over a kind of a version of a command line game that is based on tutorial 25's game. And if you it'd be nice if you went back and looked at it if you're unfamiliar with it. I'll just kind of show you what it is in Chrome. You have a grid and you have an X, which is you, the player. If you click left, you go left. You click right, you go right. If you click up, you go up and down. This and that. Well, we're going to be kind of converting this so that it will work in the command line. So I'm going to go ahead and get the main content here, and I will paste into this tutorial file. So here's the grid and here's the height and all that. But since we're in a command line, we're not going to be using sessions. So I'm going to go and copy this, and I'm going to find all variables that look like that. I'm going to replace it with player, and I'm going to do replace all. Yes, and the player's X is blah blah blah, and well, let's go to the point to where we actually do something with the directions. And instead of this request, I'm going to say I'm going to make a function here, and I'm going to say direction, and this is a parentheses here, and I'm going to do replace all. Yes, and let's see here, if get direction is not equal to -1, and I'll show you why I did that in a second here. And so now we're using all this stuff here. So I'm going to make the function called get direction. So I'm going to say function get direction, and I'm going to say global $direction, and I'm going to go ahead and just return the direction. And then I'm going to go ahead and see, I'm going to put a 1 in here, and I'm going to say get new equals 0, and I'm setting it to 0 as default, but this one's going to be 1. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go to Chrome, and I'm going to show you how to get a line from the command line again, and it's under the manuals command line section, and I'll provide that link in the comments so you can copy it if you want. So I'm going to say get info from user in CLI command line interface, and then I'm going to go back and get this line here. So I'm going to say if oops, I didn't mean to do that. If $get new equals 1, or I could just leave it as this because equals 1 is the same. Well, double equals 1 is the same thing as leaving it there. So I'm going to say line is that, and I'm going to say that I want to say the direction is now just the substring of the or str of the line, and it's going to start at 0 and go to 1. And I'm going to say if let's see here, if the str len of line is greater than 0, and the reason why is because if I tried doing this and it was 0 and it tries to get a character that doesn't exist because it tries to go to the first space, it will have a problem. So now I have this in, and so at this point it will get the new direction, and I'm going to say else return -1, and that's it. Also going to do str to lower, since the comparison is already in lowercase. So now we have it so that there should be a function which gets the direction from the user, and then it compares it with this, and it goes on like that. So we have this to where they can go ahead and have all the data, but we need to make a way to display it, and the only real way is to echo it out. So I'm going to say echo new line with that, and then I'm going to end that, and then I'm going to do for let's see here, the player, we're going to be echoing the grid, and let's see here, what else do we have in here that we might need? We're going to want to change this, of course. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in here and put in player for the session, and then that's about it there. So I'm going to say for x equals 0 to x is less than width. Actually, that's right, I already have the width done. So I'm going to say width and then $x plus plus with not $2 but just one. And I'm going to go ahead and do about the same thing, but for the height with y. So I'm going to do this to y and y and y and then height. So, but since we're echoing from left to right, we're going to actually have to put this outside of the x and process the y first, since we're going from up to down too. So now we have the code here, and we got to echo out the position. So I'm just going to say echo the grid at $x and at y, and then I'm going to go ahead and after each line I'm going to do echo new line, and that should be it. And if we save and go to the terminal here, just a second, I might get bigger for the viewer. So now I got the terminal ready, and I'm going to say php tut031.php, and it's going to ask me for a direction now. So I'm going to say up for up, and of course if I do up again, it's going to be the same thing, and if I do D for down, it's going to be going down. So what can I do exactly to try to make it so I can stay within the game and not end the game every single time? I can do a while loop. So I'm going to go ahead and provide a while loop here, and since this is all the all this from this up is just initiating it, I'm going to go and stick it up here. So I'm going to say while status is not equal to -1, and I'm pretty much just saying that while the status is not negative, or well, I'm going to say the status code, if I want to exit out, is -1. That will terminate the loop. And I'm going to say status is 0 right now, and then it's going to go ahead and I'm going to put this at the end. I'm going to shift everything up, and I'm using a special key combination to shift things around. Now I'm going to say if the status is greater than or equal to 1, then I will ask the direction. Otherwise I will not. So at this point we should have it so that the we get the table out. So I'm going to say status equals 1, and save. But I do not want to go in this now because I haven't made a way to get out. So if I want to say